Welcome back guys to Trade Pro FX community. So today I want us to learn about how to trade using these fair value gaps in deriv. So let me pick a trade there using this whole amount, and then that's 3. Let me put 334 and press arise, and I will tell you why. So as the trade moves, I have pressed, you can see I've pressed 65 minutes. So after 65 minutes, the trade will have already gone up. So what have I done? I've calculated from these candlesticks here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you touch from the beginning on top there, let me first draw something. Let me pick a rectangle and show you which fair value gaps I'm talking about. So looking in between there, in between these 3 candlesticks there, I don't know why these tools or it was trading using the daily trader, they normally have a problem, but that's the point I want. So let me put it there. Well, so at that exact point, we can see there is a fair value gap, and I told you it's a gap between the first candlestick and the third candlestick. So if the candlestick did not close to each other, that automatically becomes a fair value gap. You can see there is a gap, and you don't have to be explained that you can see there is a gap between the tip of the first and the second of the third tip. So you can see also there again there is also another fair value gap, a very small fair value gap, but it makes a lot of sense. So I told you how you trade on a market is that on each and every fair value gap you see, guys, remember the market has to come back to that fair value gap, be it how many minutes it will take, be it how many days it will take. But if you have identified that fair value gap, the market has to come and fill that inefficiency. So guys, if you don't know completely how to trade, then just be finding for these fair value gaps and wait for the market to come and fill that inefficiency. If you have a good capital and do not know how to trade, just ensure you have identified those fair value gaps. Then you can identify these support zones here. So this I'm at 5 minutes, and let me find the horizontal line, that one. Then place it at the previous low swing low. Then let's now push this side. You see currently the market is below at this volatility 75. So just look at it, and we are using this 5 minutes candlestick. So basically we are now on the lower part on the swing lows, and just looking at that, I don't know how much time it will take, but what I know is that the market will come back to that zone. We'll come back to those 2 zones there, you see them on top there. So let's first check on the 1 hour and see how the market is behaving. So you can see at the 1 hour the candlestick is moving downward, but it has left those fair value gaps on top. So it must come and fill those two fair value gaps on the 5 minutes. So if you just know how to identify those fair value gaps, guys, you will make it in any trading. Yet if you don't know how to trade and you now know how to spot those fair value gaps, it's just looking at the 3 consecutive candlesticks of the same color. Look whether the crossing and the open of the first and the third are on the same lane. So if they are not, it shows that there is a fair value gap. So guys, I don't want this video to be so much long, because it might take us so much long for these candlesticks to come back and fill that fair value gap. So I'll just increase the speed it took, and it might take maybe around to 1 hour. 1 hour, that's why I put 65 minutes. That means that's almost 1 hour and 5 minutes. I can see after 1 hour 5 minutes the market will have already returned back to those fair value gaps on the 5 minutes. So let me just increase the speed after long, and I'll just leave this video as it trades. Then I will increase the speed for the whole time it will take to reach that fair value gap. Then next I will show you a good other strategies for trading these rise and fall. So the first one we will discuss today is this one: always find for a fair value gap. So with that, let's meet when we get into the profit. After around 1 hour, now the trades began to go on our direction. So you can see the fair value gaps now have started to it's almost reaching those fair value gaps, and now it has been consolidating for a very long time since we entered that market. You can see it never had a good decision whether to sell or buy, but we knew it must come back and touch those fair value gaps. You can see now we are now getting very close to those fair value gaps, and you can see we are moving very well. So this is what I told you, that the market must come back and to tap those fair value gaps, those inefficiencies that it left behind. So guys, if you just know how to identify these fair value gaps, maybe on the 5 minutes, the 1 minute, or the 4 hours, especially for higher time frames, they are very good. They normally respect that. So guys, just try to learn the best how to get these fair value gaps, and whenever you get those fair value gaps, you will note that you will not be losing your trade, because the market has to go to that direction. So if in case you have not understood the fair value gaps and you don't know how to get to identify those fair value gaps, kindly just comment below. I'll again repeat, specifically not to trade, only to show you how to get this knowledge about how to know how to see these fair value gaps. So guys, I want you to stay with me here until we see those whole fair value gaps have been filled, all of them. I want us to see how all those fair value gaps have been filled, all of them. So with me here, I believe that despite you can see now it's moving down on a downtrend, what I know is that the market has to fill those fair value gaps, be it what or anything. And then I told you guys, as you trade, assuming you are trading on a 1 minute candlestick, guys, you are trading on a 1 minute candlestick, guys, and you noted your fair value gap, and you see you have made any amount of profit that you see you have made, you can close the trade. You can close the trade, because you see the reef has given us a good chance that you see that now currently at 240. If I want to sell at that point and I can get comfortable at that point, you can close that trade. Assuming you are on a 1 minute candlestick, guys, you can close at any point that you wish or see that those profits are good for you. So this is the best thing of trading using the minutes, not the ticks. Note, do not trade these rise and fall using ticks. Ticks is a no. Trade using the minutes. And looking at mine, I have bought 65 minutes because I knew after close to 1 hour 5 minutes, the market will already have filled, at least will have closely filled those fair value gaps. Despite that, I see, looking at the change, you can see on the volatility left side, the recent position, you can see it has changed now to a yellow. So meaning there is a point now the sell won't able to cross. So for me, I can cross this point because my minutes, I guess I would have put maybe like 80 minutes or above 65. I will still hold these trades instead of crossing it at this point. But for now, I might be tempted to close this trade now here. Reason being, you see the yellow line has already come up, and you can try to close your trade and it fails. You can try to close your sell position there, your buy position, and it fails. So let's first close this one and still wait for the market to go up. I know the market must fill all those two fair value gaps, but we don't want to have any loss from there. So always ensure you have your good timing. Like you can see now, my timing, I was supposed to put more than 2 hours or 2 hours or close to 80 minutes, so that the trade can still not be, I cannot be stopped out. So for currently you can see it's at 210. So it's better for us first to close, but we know the market must complete these whole fair value gaps and close them up. So let's stay tuned at this market and see that these fair value gaps, whenever you move these fair value gaps, they must be filled, and never worry, never have any hesitation that maybe you think that the market now might go back your turn. So like me, I will close this because I see my recent position has already changed the color to yellow, and there is a point it will reach, you cannot close that trade despite what. So let us close that one and still wait. You can see the market is still moving up. Definitely it must reach to that left highest point. It must reach to that highest point of that. So looking at now this, the market went our way, closed all those fair value gaps after some few minutes, and just look at it, you see it has closed all those fair value gaps completely. So if we were to still on those profits, you see we have made massive crazy profits. But now, since we never wanted to maybe get stopped out, that's why we exited. So now let's dive into the second strategy of trading rise and fall. I've told you the first one, always ensure, you can see now currently the market is going down, and I don't know why I'm unable to pick those, but this area, that area, you see it has a fair value gap. Despite that, now that the current candlestick is moving up, it must return back to that zone. So you can pick a very short trade for a downtrend, because that trade must return to that point to fill that inefficiency. So with that, now let's dive into another strategy for trading rise and fall. That was for the swing traders, and now let's get to the scalpers. Scalpers will still use this volatility 75. So come to your indicator stub. Then on your indicator stub, I want you to put some indicators. First indicator, come to your momentum. So come to first. Let me make some clear. Let's not delete anything from there. Let it just remain as it is. Let those fair value gaps remain. So I wanted to clear them up so that you can see. But for that reason, let's not clear anything and leave them as they are. So what I was talking about is there are some indicators you need to put so that you can trade these volatility 75. That's the MACD and the stochastic index. So let me first delete them again so that I can put each and every indicator you can understand. I'm being quick. So on your indicator stub, I want you to always go to the indicators. There is this tab here. I don't know why my screen is hanging. Yes, it is because of that tab, this one. So that indicators, so tap to the indicators, go to the momentum, then type your stochastic momentum indicator, not the relative strength index or stochastic oscillator, momentum, that one, the middle one. So then next we put the MACD, and we won't change them anything, we won't change. So what am I aiming to look? Whenever I see the market close, so those two, you can see the first one for the stochastic has the red and the black, and then for MACD it also have the red and black. So if they cross those two, if they cross each other, and then looking at this MACD line, you can see it's separated by a straight line, and then there are candlesticks forming on top, and there are other candlesticks forming below. So if in case I see the stochastic momentum close, and then the MACD then crosses, then I see the candlesticks being formed now have started to move, have shifted from the down, and then have shifted to the upside. I hope we are together to that point. So come put your stake. You can see I put 594, the one we got from the previous one for the fair value gaps. So I published everything, then 594.52. So our aim is looking at these two stochastic and MACD. So then I'll place rise, because I'll have seen the MACD now showing an uptrend on the top side, not on the below, after both two lines have crossed each other. Mandatory, wait for the two lines to cross each other. So let's wait and see what happens, whether the market, when they cross each other, the market will go to a rise. And remember, here to trade ProFX, do not try trading using the whole amount as I'm doing. I told you it's because for me I'm usually sure of what I'm doing in the market. So but for demonstration purposes, that's why I usually show you using this. So you can see our momentum, the stochastic momentum index has crossed, but has the MACD crossed? No, it hasn't crossed. So if it hasn't crossed, you must be patient enough, because I saw most of the people usually just get into the market when maybe one indicator shows you a direction. So for me, I told you adhere to the rules. So when the stochastic has crossed, I have seen and I have confirmed that the momentum stochastic has crossed, and the candlestick is still moving bullish, but I cannot enter that market. No. So I wait for this MACD to close to, then the MACD, then if it shifts, you can see it is cross rate. So I'll be very ready to pick that trade when I see a slight movement on the upside showing a green formation candlestick. So be very careful before you take your trade. So always be patient. This strategy needs you guys to be very patient. Rise and fall is one strategy that I recommend people to learn, and it's one market strategy that is very accurate and consistent. So look at this. I want you to wait for that market to close. Then for the stochastic, it has already closed. We have adhered to that. Look at the current formation of that candlestick. It's a bearish candlestick, but we care less about that. We are looking at the MACD candlesticks forming. If I spot a MACD candlestick forming the green, good. That has that candlestick has elapsed. So let's wait for the MACD to just close, and the MACD bars, those candlesticks, the red and the green. If you spot now a green candlestick forming on the top of that line, we will purchase a good rice, and we will have no fear. And what is the time period that we will use? We this is for scalpers. I've already shown you how to do it for the swing traders. Swing traders trade using the fair value gaps, and if those fair value gaps are near the support levels, you can pick trades. But for now, scalpers, this is very, very, very risky, but you need to be very focused. And you have seen, if you had seen on what we were doing for the swing traders, you noticed that let me reload this. You noticed for the swing traders that we used we have made a small amount of profit, but you are sure perfect that the market will move on that direction. But coming to these of scalpers, scalping needs so much attention, so you have to be very, very careful. So guys, I don't know my net, what's wrong with my net. I need to check on your net speed, guys. So you can see mine is lagging, I don't know why today. So always check your net speed. It should be very flexible. Do not trade if your speed is moving very low. I guess it's because it's being used by so many people. So back to what we were trading. So we are waiting for that formation of that candlestick below and the MACD close. So let's wait, and I'll become very sure nice. So that's it, guys, for today. And in case of any question, ask below on the comment section. So I was telling you about the swing traders. We have made so small amounts, but very sure you never had twisted it, because you knew the market would have gone back to that. You would have known that the market would have gone back to those fair value gaps. But for this is scalping. You know you are going to make almost the same similar profit. The same amount you are using, it will almost be the same. Just look at pick a slice there. Just look there. Let's now pick a slice from there, because we can spot that a green candlestick being formed there. So I've picked the whole amount. So let's wait for the 1 minute to elapse, and I am very sure it will be a rise. For reason being, we are now trading using the 1 minute, and you see we negative 140. Let's wait and see whether it will change definitely to a rise, because we have entered on the right entry point. So do not hesitate and then expect that now you can close or sell. But I told you, it's your wish. You can see that kind of amount and decide to sell at that point. The deal gives you the ability to do so. But for now, because I was sure with what I was doing, I'll wait for that candlestick 1 minute to elapse. See, the resale not offered. That's why I crossed beginning while doing the scalping. That's why. And you see we have won that, guys. That's the short illustration of trading these rise and fall scalping.